Hello, streamers and creamers, and welcome back. Aha, I caught you off guard. We usually say that at the end. Welcome back to Le Final Fantasy campaign, where last episode, our gang had arrived in Rabanastre, the city of black mages, the city of wonders, and it got burned to high hell. That's
City
great.
that never sleeps.
Oh yeah. Um, and yeah, it got it got exploded. Half the city got exploded to all high hell. And when the party went in to go see if there's anything that they can do to stop the fire, or looking for anyone in general to save, we ended up coming across a certain guy facing off against what looks like a bunch of
bitch.
antagonists. Yes, that person. Uh, this white-haired gentleman who happened to wield one of the most powerful black mage spells, Ultima. And using Ultima, he ended up putting a stop to everything that these guys were doing, setting things on fire and such, obliterating part of the town in the process, where nothing ever left. Well, nothing is ever left in that one area. But yeah, they met the person. They discovered that his name is
Jakku.
Jakku. Thank you.
Just fake.
Including me.
Jakku, and they had went to the town of Thanalin, where they kind of rested up, and they also looked around for where this publisher of this book could be. And that is and then we returned to Rabanastre, where they gained more information on the different types of books that are in the series, and that is where we are now. The gang had knocked on the door and discovered that the person who's sitting inside of that same home where they were told the author was supposed to be, the guy sitting at that desk is none other than Jakku himself, and that is where we left off. So, who would like to, I guess, initiate this sort of encounter of speech with this guy? When you see him he's sitting at this table, feet is up and everything on top of the desk, and he looks like he was waiting for you for quite some time.
I knew it.
You say that out loud?
Yes.
All right. And he says, "Excuse me."
Well, obviously it would be you.
And how would you have guessed that? I was with you the whole
Well-
time.
Yes, but this author has the ability to predict the future and write it down. Of course, he's also going to have other big magical powers, so it's not that big of a leap to go, oh, maybe this guy is.
I don't know where you got that whole predicting the future thing, but that also is that whole other abilities. I guess that's fair.
Show him the book. Show him the book.
Yeah, no. Yeah. So I pull out Eternal Wind and I go, this is what we're talking about right here. Just kind of slightly slam it on the table. This book just explains in pretty decent detail our last adventure trying to restore the Wind Crystal. We had no idea of it, and then suddenly after our adventure, we find it, go through it, and realize that everything that happened in here, the Cloud of Darkness, the 4 demons, Amon, well, okay, Amon not entirely, but most of the details in here describe what we went to almost to a T. And you have no idea how to explain that.
He's like, while he's sitting at the desk, he gives out a loud sigh. Well, not a loud sigh, he's just like a regular sigh that you guys that is very audible. He's just like a, and then he lifts his feet off of the desk and he stands up, puts his hands behind his back, and he goes over to a window and opens it that's above his desk. Well, if I were to tell you guys everything, you wouldn't believe me anyways. So
I just watched my doppelganger die right in front of me. I think we'll believe just about anything at this point.
all right, as you wish. Yes, I am Jaku, and I go under the pseudonym of S. And I wrote the books. When I wrote the books, they weren't meant to be any sort of. They weren't meant to be any sort of like clairvoyant stories and anything like that, where I see the future and write it all down. They were meant to be honestly. They were meant to honestly just be children's books. So whatever you guys encountered simply must have been a coincidence.
You're saying you accidentally predicted the future?
To a T?
I mean, kinda. But I mean, look, if you were to look throughout any of the other books, you can see that there's no future really to be told. I mean, I don't have any senses into the future. Trust me, I would be using them more for other things, if other than just writing books.
Okay, then what about the Forgotten City? You mentioned something about Amon and a Forgotten City, and when I tried describing this to my friends after reading this book over, the more I pronounced its name, the more I forgot its name, and honestly, I completely forgot. What was the name of that city again, guys? Honestly, someone help me out here.
It is the Forgotten. No, it's the Lost. Oh God, the Forbidden Land, Eureka. God damn, I don't know why I was struggling to say that.
Yeah, no, that. Wait, was it that one? Seriously, guys, back me up here. I honestly forgot.
Oh, I thought you were asking like out of character.
No, I am asking in character because Nick does not remember the name anymore.
Gotcha. Okay, my bad. I thought you were asking out of character.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
No, I don't remember either. It's on the tip of my tongue, though.
I just kind of look back to Jaku and I'm like, explain this shit.
Well, the place that you're speaking of, it exists in the book. It's just that, I don't know, maybe some external forces forcing you guys to not hear it or say it, because I can, he kind of puts his fingers to his chin and says, well, if I say it now, then I guess I could maybe jog your memory. Would that work for you all?
Okay, so you're saying that it just happens to be... So you're saying that it just happens to be coincidence that this is basically told our story long before any of us were even born, and that you did not put any magical enchantment whatsoever on any of its wording, locations, or anything?
Nope, just me, a noble scribe, just going around telling stories. Based in reality, actually.
Can I do an insight check?
Yeah, I was about to ask the same.
You may. If you want, every single one of you guys can make an insight check if you wish.
Fuck yeah.
16.
8.
19.
Ooh.
Oh shit.
9.
Fuck you, Frank.
Alright, so Vesta and so Ruvik and Vesta. The rest of you guys, so the rest of you, the ones who rolled the lowest, here, actually, let me see if, actually, no, Evangeline's not with you. She's still at the airship with the, two. So yeah, okay, so for the people who rolled the lowest, the 8 and the 9, you can tell that he seems to be telling the truth. Nothing seems to be out of the ordinary. And as for the two of you who rolled the highest, you can see, yeah, he is telling the truth that yes, these are books meant to be read by children. There weren't any sort of future telling involved, but that's where the truths are that's where the truths stop, pretty much.
So there's a part that's like not truthful.
Yes.
Okay.
But neither me or you can tell.
I
because we're
have no idea. Yeah.
And for for Ruvik and Vesta, even with your high insight, you still can't really make out exactly what that untruth is. With that, I don't even know, for the lack of a better term. I'm just gonna say untruth. The untruth point of that whole thing that he said is, but you can tell that one part of it isn't true. But you know for a fact that he means what he says about it being just regular children's books written. Honestly, guys, I mean, I really don't know what could be going on here. Do you guys know do you have antagonists against you who seem to want to manipulate anything, or do you guys have some sort of prankster behind your back, or something that's manipulating anything that happens?
I mean, we originally thought the Warriors of Darkness were antagonists. That mainly my fault. My doppelganger ended up shooting a damn cannon at me. But the only antagonist that we have encountered that seems to have stuck around is the Dragon Queen.
You can see his eyes go a little squinty for a second. I see. This Dragon Queen, you've mentioned her before. Would you guys mind providing a little extra insight onto what this person is?
It's not really a person. The Dragon Queen is a arcane automaton of some sort, created by Amon and his associate. Originally meant to be a guardian of peace and for the people, but somehow went haywire and now seeks to not only destroy Elian, but also the lights of Elian as well. And not just in one particular version of Elian, as we've come to realize, but it's a bit of a possible mirror dimension domination of some sort.
Well, that does sound pretty terrifying, especially considering I was the one who mostly came up with some of that. I can see how the parallels can be made, but I mean, if I had to give, oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, you keep going.
He's saying that if I had to give any, I guess, advice on where your next search should be is, in the book, in the Eternal Wind book, I wrote that he had a brother named Hain. Amon did. So I guess if you locate, if he even is a real person, I don't even know. Depending on, I mean, if Amon was real, then who knows if Hain might. So if this Hain person exists, he might be the next person you could talk to get more insight on this Dragon Queen person.
That's what we
What does
thought.
Hayden look like?
You saying that in character?
Mm-hmm.
Hain, well, I described Hain to be pretty much an identical twin to Amon. Amon more had like a blue color scheme, while Hain had more of a reddish kind of color scheme. But they mostly look exactly alike.
Oh, that's terrifying. Amon was already creepy as fuck.
Yeah, we certainly don't need another one of him.
Yeah.
Now, are there any more inquiries you might have?
Where did you get your inspiration for these books? Maybe that holds some sort of key as to why, at least one of them in particular, seemed to have had some form of clairvoyance.
Not much. I just, as I said before, I'm just a wandering scribe, just writing stories. So I've been many places throughout the world, and those locations have mostly inspired most of the stories. Like the Crystal Tower, that is a main inspiration for the third book. Uh, Midgar was the biggest inspiration for the sixth book, and other places.
Something about this still doesn't seem right. Like, if you don't possess any form of clairvoyance, yet we know for certain that at least one of the stories did predict the future, then what was it that actually caused these books to end up becoming reality?
He kind of strokes his chin and he's like, hell if I know, honestly. I don't know who would be such an insane person to even take my stories and make them a real thing.
Okay, also, I thought you were... Okay, I understand that you're a traveler and whatnot, but... aren't you also supposed to be like this, some sort of super powerful black mage of some sort?
Ah, about that, yes. That was all just an elaborate scheme to kind of get you guys off my back, because I had a feeling you were always searching for my books, considering
Actually,
all
more
the
for-
considering all the
actually,
buzz. Oh,
It was actually more for answers than the actual books. I mean, as far as I know, we have some of them over in my personal library. I actually don't remember how many of them we have. I think it's just the first 4.
oh yeah, they're a
But,
bestseller.
well,
Well,
Well, you didn't get us off your tail that good because I knew it was you.
yeah, I get it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Ruvik does have a point. Using a high powerful spell such as, excuse me, such as Ultima, and has been rumored to be an all-powerful mage. I mean, that doesn't really put you on a low profile.
Well, I guess that's a fair point. And let me let you all in on a little secret, by the way. Don't tell anyone I told you this, or else the committee would get me in trouble, and that's a lot of paperwork, and I'd rather not.
Oh,
Honestly.
trust me, I totally hear you about paperwork.
So that spell, this spell here, Ultima, conjures the same green kind of spinning orb in his hand. Well,
Yeah.
I made it. This is a spell that I created on my own. And
Okay.
according to everything that goes on here in Ravenasti, you're not really supposed to make your own spells. At least until you're a high-level mage.
Possible?
It's possible, alright. I have the scars to prove it.
Wait, you created an all-powerful spell, and yet you still say you're not an all-powerful mage. Like, how the No, I'm sorry, I'm just trying to understand this logic here.
Well, it's not that complicated, really, because after all the places I've been to, you really start to see some stuff. And when you go to places like Midgar, where you can actually manufacture magic, it's not that far-fetched.
You see Nyx just kind of smirking. It's like, it's not technically magic, but it's more a manifestation of an imitation of magic through science.
Either way.
But I mean, if you're gonna make a spell, why would you make one so destructive? I mean, what's the purpose?
I didn't intend for it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're a smash hit at birthday parties.
Hmm. And the worst part of it is that when I use it, I forget. I forget a certain portion of what it means to even, you know, how do I say this without sounding so, I guess, morbid.
Have you met my life?
Every time I use this spell, I forget a portion of myself. I guess this must have been what the committee has been warning us, have been warning everyone all over Rabanasta about. Whenever you do create things, whether it be magic or even white magic for that matter.
And you still use it.
I only used it twice. Once when I was actually trying to figure out how to make it, and that one time you saw. And so far I haven't really forgotten too much, at least as far as I know. Hell, I mean...
I can't tell. You just see Nyx is looking bewildered and it's like, I can't tell if you're a genius or just utterly stupid. And that's coming from me. I'm usually a stupid genius.
I can attest to that.
Yeah, I can as well.
He kind of like does this with his hand. He like wipes you, like waves you guys off. And he's just like, well, I'm a traveler, all right. Not only a scribe, but I just love to go places and try out different things. I don't like to limit myself to only one thing.
I mean, I don't blame you there.
And so I like to dip my hands in any kind of pie I can, whether that's magitech, creating magics, blowing up cities.
At least I've never gotten that extreme. Worst I've done is blown up an apartment.
I've got... So... At least, you know, it's at least, you know... I know how to control it. At least I'm not using it out of control.
That's
That
one
you
thing
know of.
Yeah, that's one. Yeah, okay. I gotta agree with my bot here. As far as you know, yes, but please tell me that you're not the reason that half of Rabanasta is gone.
I literally said that I used it when I was making the magic, and then when I was using it when you saw me. So,
But it makes you forget, so you could have used it more than you think.
That's a good point. How do you know you didn't forget? I mean, how do you know you didn't predict the future when you wrote those books? You wrote them a long time ago.
Also, I barely remember a lot of stuff from a lot of time ago, and some of those I choose to forget. But that's a whole nother story.
Yes, you're very traumatized.
Oh, shut up. Yaku's probably looking at Ruvik and Nyx like, what the fuck is wrong with these two?
speaking of...
being stupid.
Oh, wait. Wait, what were you about to say?
Hmm?
What were you about to say?
I was just saying that's them being stupid.
Oh. No, Jaku looking kind of puzzled at himself. He's like, I mean, as far as I remember, I don't recall writing them to predict the future. All right. I think.
Looks like you're gonna need to do a bit of an info delve, my friend.
Anyways, is there anything else you all need?
I mean, do we want to keep land-basting this guy, or do we actually have more questions?
I mean, if we think, we weren't reading any of the books in case they predicted our future and we didn't want to hear about that, but we could just ask the author himself, are there any other books regarding us, essentially?
You're asking that directly to him, or are you telling that to...
I'm asking him.
Okay. Well, as I said before, they weren't meant to tell the lives of you all. If you see in the book, it tells the story of 4 completely different characters, not like the names of you all. But if it makes you all any better, I can tell you about some of the stories that I have. I'm not gonna go over every single story in the book, because then that'll just be wasted, potential. You guys need to read those on your own.
How many of them tell of the same 4 heroes that were in the Eternal Wind?
You say that? Wait, say that one more time. Sorry. That's actually me saying that.
Yeah. Nix was asking how many of the stories contain the same 4 heroes as Eternal Wind.
He says, none of them. They're all pertaining to that one narrative. Those same 4 heroes don't appear in any other ones.
Are there any other books with 4 main characters?
Let me think. The DM reaches for his Bible and
I turn to Rufik and I go, that's actually another good point.
It's almost like I'm smart.
You're a bard. I'm the genius here.
I make music, which means I have to be smart in some sense.
Hold on. The genius that blew himself up intentionally.
Yeah, actually. I haven't blown myself up yet.
Okay. In my defense, we were all about to die. What else was I supposed to do?
Not commit to blowing yourself up.
Okay, yes, it was a stupid idea at that moment. After the after fact, but I mean, in the moment.
Alright. So, he looks to you all and he says, yes, there are 3 others that involve 4 heroes. There's the first book, the 3rd book, then you have the 5th book, and then the 15th book.
How many of those books have like crystals or totems or something that require getting them or something?
Well, I mean, all of them do. All of them. All of my stories pertain to the heroes in the story. Gathering. They all involve crystals in some way, shape, or form, whether they be subtle or the main plot point.
Right.
So we have the 1st and the 3rd book, obviously. We've got the crystal and we've got the Eternal Wind. And you said it was the 5th and then the 15th, right?
The 5th, the 15th, and we'll throw the 2nd one in there. Even though they do switch out a lot, there still is a consistent 4. So throw in the 2nd one.
So we've got that one as well. The only ones that were somewhat missing are the tree and the engine.
Wait, so what are the names of these things again?
They're in the general.
The
character sheet section of the Discord chat.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's where I was getting the names from.
Okay,
Yeah, book 1's the crystal, book 2 is the emperor. We have Eternal Wind. Actually, 1, 2, and 3 because we have for the first 4.
Yeah. And then you guys are just missing the 5 through 15.
Yeah, which is a good chunk.
And
And Jakku said the other two that have 4 heroes with crystals are the tree and the engine.
Is it a coincidence that there's 5 of these books, and there's 4 elemental crystals plus the Omni crystal?
Yeah, that's what I was getting to looking at because this looks a little funny.
Okay. Well, shit. Okay. Which one of you have the first and the third book? Oh no, I have the third book. Which one of you has the first and the second?
Shit.
I have the 4th one.
I think I have the first is the crystal, right?
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
think I've got the first book.
Yeah, first is Crystal, and then second
Evangeline
one
has the second one.
Ember.
Oh.
Of course she does.
She's outside the city in the airship, Biggs and Wedge, so she's not far away from it
Alright.
all.
I mean, I'm sure this guy has copies of his own books.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You can
That's
see
fair.
all
That's
over the place. It's like riddled with books and such. You can even see a manuscript on the table.
He's a big enough narcissist to have it.
I mean, that's probably fair.
Hang
I
on,
turn to
I'm
Frank.
pretty
and
sure-
go-
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'm gonna turn to Frank, and I'm gonna go through that book, see if anything matches.
I guess I'll try and open and flip through, but if I recall correctly, I couldn't. I mean, the first time I tried to read it, I couldn't understand it. Unless I'm misremembering that, DM.
Now, you tried to when you were on the airship. I think you tried to crack open the 4th book
I see.
because you guys all had it on the airship, and you guys didn't really have it in your. You guys had it on your personal possessions, but I guess when you guys got on the airship, you put them down somehow. You picked up the. I remember. Do you remember you did pick up the 4th one?
Okay. Yeah, I think you're right about that. So I guess I'll go through. I'll open the crystal, flip through, and see if I can read that one.
All right. Give me an intelligence check.
Oh no.
Franklin's fucking stupid.
Can I assist?
You may assist if you're trying to look in the book with him.
Yes, I'm just gonna like peer over his shoulder
Yeah.
as he's going through it.
He's
I
gonna
have
be
a
like,
-1, so here we go.
Oh god.
What?
my God. Okay, there we go.
Okay, well,
Oh, thank
17.
All right.
Why do you have a -1 to intelligence?
What the fuck?
Made it my dump
He's
stack,
a himbo.
alright?
You're dumb. I mean, unfair. Who has an okay? Well, besides you, Vesta, who has an intelligence?
that's
like,
right.
who else would put their stats into intelligence?
I have a +1. That's it.
Well, I mean,
I have +3.
in
Yeah,
intelligence.
Yeah.
You're smart. Ruvik is just street smart.
I get yeah. See,
He
Vesta,
knows how to not get gaslit. That's all he knows.
what's in your intelligence, Vesta?
Mine is a +4.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Because you're the black mage. You need the big boom boom explosions. All right. So with the assistance of Rubik, you can see that whenever you like skim through stuff, you can see Nick's kind of pointing. No, you pronounce that word kind of like that, I guess.
Exactly.
You're like an old man reading from an iPhone.
Can you explain this part again?
Alright, so yeah, when you skim through the entire book, you get, you don't get all the details, obviously, but you get the gist of there are 4 warriors of light trying to stop the world from being shrouded in darkness, and they have 4 empty crystals, and they need to restore the light to all other 4 of them. And, along the way, they meet different, people, and they defeat many different types of villains. But at the end, it turns out that the very first enemy that they ever faced, called, you probably guessed it, Garland, he comes back in the end, and he absorbs the 4 fiends, Kraken, Tiamat, Echidna, and the other one. What the fuck is that one? Oh, Lich. So yeah, he absorbs the 4 fiends and he becomes chaos. and when the four warriors of light defeat chaos, they get trapped back in time 2,000 years, and their deeds go pretty much unnoticed, and they pretty much fade into obscurity.
Oh.
Well, that sounds like
shit.
fun for us.
Jesus Christ. Alright.
So if anyone wants to do anything, we've got to do it before that happens.
Yeah.
Alright, from me being the hover parent over Franklin,
You can pretty much smell.
can I tell that most of the crystal is pretty much similar to when to our party as our history as the Warriors of Light, or does it seem like it's telling the story of like the first Warriors of Light to me?
To you, it just seems to be telling the story of four underdeveloped characters. They're not okay. Since this is his first book, they didn't really put much thought into the characters. They just mostly put it into the story. So, think of these as like more blank slate characters.
So basically, I can't tell worth shit.
Yeah, but you can tell the classes that they are on, that they I guess that they fight with. They're like the basic medieval classes. Like the leader is a warrior class. The secondary is a red mage. The third is the black mage, and the last one is the white mage.
I just basically look in this and I'm like, Jesus Christ, these almost read like some of my blueprints. But Frank, it seems like from what that I know you also reading along with as well, but this doesn't seem like us. I'm looking through this and like, don't get me wrong, it's fairly close to us as in the fact that there are four warriors of light, but the way they're described is off. Like, yes, there's a warrior. Yes, we've got a warrior to which we can declare you as. They've got a black mage, which is pretty much like Vesta, but they also say they have a red mage, and I don't really think either I or Ruvik could be considered mages of any sort.
Yeah. I mean, there's some, like you said, there's some consistencies and some inconsistencies, but I mean, it got the part with Garland, right? At least, I mean, we've defeated him, so there's a chance.
I mean, that is true, but
there's a chance he comes back, but some details have been gotten wrong in books before.
I mean, that is fair. We never met Hane, like the Eternal Wind thought, or transcribed as. But Garland's faced the first Warriors of Light, even. So, and from what we know, which honestly is very little about our predecessors, maybe it's telling their story in this first book and not ours.
That's definitely possible. But then...
think about it. They were the original Warriors of Light, the ones who defended the crystals from darkness, which could have possibly been Garland. And you notice that Nyx is not saying garlic at this moment. He is actually saying Garland's actual name. For the last gods know how many years, their deeds did go unforgotten. That most people would consider the Warriors of Light children's stories. That, no pun intended. Look over to Jakku.
Thank you. Well, that's what they are.
Hush.
Okay,
It's-
yeah, just sit down, old man. Turn back to the party. Their deeds went on to become fiction, fantasy, things that most people thought never existed. For centuries.
I will say also, that as you guys, I guess, are skimming, like not skimming, but while you guys are still talking, as you guys continue to flip through and just I guess haphazardly, you do come across an illustration. Let me grab it. You see a little illustration. It's like a set. It's like a 2-page spread when you guys get towards the end of the book, and you see a man that looks very familiar. You see
How
Is
it,
it the king from the beginning?
huh? No. You see it as the same statue that's in the middle of Cornelia.
Okay, so not that familiar with me.
So, I'm like struggling to wrap my brain around it then that there's this version of the story. There's a chance that this guy is just a historian, wrote it all down. Or there's a chance that there's like a coincidence. He writes this down, happens to line up with history. Or it could be written as like a warning or an omen of some shit. But I just...
A rather piss poor omen, I'd say.
Yeah. I mean, with the draw... Sorry.
I mean, honestly, the only until we can actually put all the pieces together, our next bet, I guess, would be to find the second book and see what tales it transcribes. Because if this is reading out history, past, present, and future, we know the Eternal Wind talked about us. The crystal, we can possibly assume talks about our predecessor.
Jack.
So then what does the Emperor talk about?
We have one that talks about our past. We have one that talks about our present, potentially. So then do you think one of them talks about the future?
It'd have to be somewhere in the 5th or 15th one, I'd assume. Unless the timelines are all screwed up and jump between books. Just stare at Jakku.
Jakku actually interjects. He's like, well, you see that picture there? The whole first book, when I first visited Cornelia a long time ago, I was...
Yes, we know. We're a wee little lad. Get going.
Alright. Well, when I first
Goodbye, day.
arrived in Cornelia, I heard about the story of the past warrior of light. They looked exactly like this because this is what that statue was, and I wanted to make that statue, the statue of the warrior, a part of my story. The original history, if you guys don't already know, is that the warriors of light, obviously, they stopped something. I can't exactly remember. You will have to get more insights. I didn't really do much reading. I just kind of took everything at face value and just turned it into a story. But they stopped a specific event that happened a long time ago, and then they were kind of, they were engraved into our history. And this whole thing, this big battle, took place years and years ago before my time. That was just the inspiration for my first book, and then I decided to write more, and then more. and a lot more. I kind of got a little
Noted.
greedy.
No, honestly, this is. If you think this is greedy, you should have met my father.
Oh, I've heard about your father.
Yes. We get it. You're traumatized.
You are never gonna stop saying that, are you?
Nope.
Fair enough.
All right.
Just-
You said there was a
just wait for-
manuscript.
Yes, let's go on to that.
Manuscript. There was a manuscript somewhere.
Did I say
Angel.
there was a, did I say there
Yeah.
was a I did say there was a manuscript. Thank you for pointing
did
that
say
out.
there's-
Yes,
So,
there is a manuscript on the table.
can Miko
Which
take a
one?
peek?
You are certainly welcome to observe and see if you can even take a peek at it.
Me, I'm gonna take a peek.
All right.
I'm gonna at least look at the bookshelves to see if I can find the 2nd, 5th, and 15th book of his on the shelves.
Yeah, easily enough. They're all numbered. Everything you can see that the numbers are right there, so it's very easy to find them. And as for you, Ruvik, immediately Jakku goes over to his desk. He's like, "No peeking."
I don't care about your work. I want to see if this has anything to do with us.
It most certainly doesn't. I mean, I can tell you now. I remember working on this. I started this a few days ago. It's not ready yet.
Okay, then tell me. Stop beating around the bush.
I can tell you the title, the title that's planned at least. But I'm not gonna
I
share
don't
it with
give a
you.
crap.
He
Tell me.
he grabs it. He grabs the manuscript and he stuffs it in his shirt. And you can just see this kind of like square shaped thing in his chest.
After grabbing the 3 books, I'm just gonna turn to him and I'm gonna go, you might want to listen to my bard friend, otherwise... Well, let's just say that either he or I are gonna take matters into our own hands.
You're
Also,
wel-
I'm a gay man. I don't care if it's down your shirt. I will gladly take it out.
well, you are more than welcome to take matters into your own hands. But if you do, then I will be forced to, take this manuscript and rewrite it. And therefore, it would mean that everything that you saw would not exist.
Well, that would be a good thing if you've written like world annihilation or something.
Well, actually,
As he says,
this is actually meant to be a nicer story. It's meant to be more
pulling out
of
a
a...
baguette.
Huh?
He's pulling out his baguette.
His baguette. What? Well, okay, so he's
Dale
okay.
baguette that's like hard as a rock now.
So he's
Yeah.
okay. So yeah, he's going. So he's going on and on. He's like, so it's actually a pretty hard story. Why are you putting that out?
I did Nick's in the background looking through the 2nd book. You don't want to know.
Come
And
near
also,
me.
that's not as terrifying.
You come near me, and I will rip it up. I remember everything in my head, so I don't need to have
Then-
this.
Then
Can
just
I-
tell me what's in it.
I will tell
Okay, can I-
you, but you're not allowed to
Okay.
see. It's not ready.
Then
Can I
tell
try
me.
Listen,
and-
this is not a
can
time
I
to be
try and-
embarrassed about your first draft.
All right. Wait 1 second. Go ahead. Go ahead, Dan. What were you about to say?
Okay, as he's trying to hold it away from Ruvik, I want to see if I can sneakily pluck it from his hands.
Well, you can, but it'll be very hard considering that you guys came into the door and like the bookshelf is on the side. He's like here, you guys are in front of him. So as he's holding it back here, you're welcome to try to reach for it, but he'll see you coming.
I'm still gonna go for it. I got.
Oh my.
Hey, I
Alright.
got.
Do it.
I got decent dexterity. I got a freaking buffed sleight of hand, so I'm willing to give this a try. Oh,
Alright.
right.
So he pulls it away, and then he's just like he's looking to you, Ruvik. He's like, oh, no, so it's not ready yet.
22.
Oh my god.
Yoink!
Yeah. God damn it.
No, trust me, I'm not God.
Yes.
Why the hell would I want godhood? Too much paperwork.
All right, that's it. And he raises his finger, and he points it towards the manuscript. And while you have the manuscript in your hand, you can see the name of it. And as soon as you take a gander at it, about to flip it open, the whole thing just starts to disintegrate into a bunch of dust, like sand.
Oh.
Of course.
But you do know the name.
What was the name?
The name is called The Icon.
Ooh.
I will put it in the chat.
I bet you the story is about him because he's a narcissist.
Alright, just because of it, alright, hang on. How is he a narcissist?
Okay, now you see Nyx is definitely irritated. Just kind of looks to Jakku, sets the books down, has hand on a holstered pistol, like pops off the sort of belt, the strap lock, and it goes, I thought I've met a bunch of selfish people in my day, but never have I thought I'd seen this. What we're trying to do is ensure the safety of this world. And you see Nyx is starting to like walk closer to Jakku as they're saying this. What you write may be of vital importance to our quest. And you being so selfish, so insecure with yourself, you would rather withhold information from those who might benefit from it, all for the sake of your precious ego. And at this point, Nyx is like directly in front, eye to eye.
Alright, and when you say ego, he puts his hand like this on over your chest, and he's like, oh buddy, I don't think you would want to do that. And he looks you directly in your eye, and you can see in his eyes it starts to glow this purple color. And make me a wisdom save.
Oh.
Oh shit.
Oh, okay.
Wait, is he within me?
I get +3 because I'm near Franklin.
Fucking Christ, god damn it, why does this keep happening to me?
Nat 20!
Oh my god, no!
I love Franklin.
Did Franklin just himbo buff him?
No.
Alright.
I rolled a nat 20 anyway, so...
Already.
Yeah, himbo buff.
So technically 23.
Alright, so that didn't... Okay, the thing that I was trying to do didn't work. Alright, so he just says, I don't think you want to do that, buddy. Not around here.
So, as I'm resisting whatever freaking magical bullshit he's pulling, I'm gonna take my gun, point it upwards to where he's got his hand over my chest, pull the trigger so it shoots his hand.
What was that?
Go ahead and roll damage. Actually, no. Roll the hit, actually. Roll the hit.
Yeah, okay. Fuck.
Thank God.
Oh.
He looks. Okay, so when you shoot the gun somehow misses his hand that you put the barrel directly to. But we'll just say that he moved out. He just put his hand down just like in time, not trying to dodge it, but he just put it down. It's, you know, those weird coincidences.
Yeah.
So and then when you shoot the thing, you shoot at the side of him, which hits the bookcase, and you're like, "You hit my favorite book, you jackass!"
Let's get
Nyx
behind
just kind of slightly little crazed in the eyes. It just kind of chuckles and is like, "Don't test me."
All right. Hey, thanks,
buddy.
Jakku.
You wouldn't want to test me either.
Expect to happen in that situation. You pissed off a traumatized midget.
I don't believe you all recognize the place that you're in now, so I'd recommend you all lower your guards and
Yeah.
take a step back. Looks directly to you, Nyx. And let's calm ourselves, shall we? Because I'll have no, you know, better reason than to release this off, and I'm sure you guys wouldn't want to be on the receiving end of this. You can see the glowing red orb. I mean, the glowing green orb kind of wisp around, and it starts to get a little bit bigger. Now,
Listen,
Hey,
I was just gonna say. Go ahead.
Do we have the books?
yes, you do have the books.
So we have all of the books we need.
Just the ones that Nick's grabbed, the 5th and this 15th one.
But
yeah.
Evangeline's got the second. So yeah.
So we have all the ones that are necessary to us.
For now, yeah.
Except manuscript.
Okay, brilliant. That's all I needed to know.
No.
Okay, your turn. Keep going.
That can
Oh,
sound
you just. Oh no. Okay, cool. So what were you about to say, Vesta?
Oh, listen, I am so sorry for my friend. They're a little trigger happy. But, we're just here for answers. We're not trying to start any fights.
Well, I'll tell your friend here to stand off, or I will be forced to release Ultima on the City of Innocence, and I know you wouldn't want me to do that.
You would do that to innocent people?
That isn't the worst thing I could do. Now stand down, and this doesn't have to get complicated.
You first.
Deal. And he snaps his fingers, and the green orb disappears. And he sits
Nick.
back down, and he's like,
Nyx holsters the pistol. Doesn't lock it in the holster. Keeps the strap lock off, but still holsters the pistol.
Now keep in mind, you all, that I'm the only person here who knows any insights about these books. So I'd recommend not pissing me off, considering that I'm the key to literally all of your lives, apparently, as you all claim.
But you're not, because you don't remember anything. You're just a narcissistic dick.
I'm gonna have to side with my friend here on this one.
As you all say. Whatever it is that you might come up with, it doesn't matter. Just because I can't remember writing them doesn't mean I still don't know the information.
Regardless, as of now, from what I can see, your, well, now bolstered ego seems to make you believe you have a sense of advantage over us because of this situation of clairvoyance.
Who said I had an ego? All I care about is just my stories reaching their full potential and being read to children around the world. That's all I care about. And you trying to grab my manuscript out of my hand and potential fucking hang on, out of character, Jesus Christ, I can't speak. Potentially God, potentially whatever, and you guys quite possibly releasing it to the public, that's a no-go for me. I just want to entertain. Yes, everyone else, all the other books you saw, everyone's been reading them. My books are a bestseller, and if I want to deliver on good material that people seem to quite like, then I have to make sure I write a compelling story. And for you all to, release it or possibly release it to the public, can't have that happen. I gotta keep the people guessing.
I can promise we have no intention of releasing your manuscript to the public. We're just trying to find out more information because, you have to look at it from our point of view. We've just read a book that told us what we just did, and it was very specific, so.
And as I told you, I could have just given you a synopsis instead of you trying to pour over everything. Bad grammar and everything is in that book, and you wouldn't even be able to understand half the thoughts that I had going through writing that book. So, even if you did read it, it'd be pointless.
Then why were you so protective of it if it was pointless?
I mean, what kind of artist wouldn't be shy about seeing their work unfinished? What kind of artist isn't shy about their work in progresses?
Me?
Well, that's you. There are other people in the world, you know, besides you.
Oh my god, says the narcissist.
I'm still gonna have to side with my friend on this one.
Oh, can I dick him, please? Please, I just want to punch him in the face.
Let's wait on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're still willing, and if you guys, you know, decide to, you know, not cause another ruckus, I wouldn't mind giving you the synopsis of my latest book. But you have to promise me that you'll be good boys and girls now.
Hey, that just makes me want to punch you more.
We can behave ourselves, and Vess is just gonna kind of side-eye Nyx.
Thank you. You seem the only one with a level head here. And you too, Mr. Armored Man.
Mr.
Yeah,
Himbo is his name.
Still here. Hi.
So are you all willing to sit?
I'm not sitting anywhere.
You don't have to sit. Jeez. And here
Just
I
give
thought.
us this synopsis, we'll stop fucking with you.
Maybe.
Definitely.
You all know of the Shokan, correct? You know, the mystical gods that created the whole planet of Alien? The ones who kept the Omni crystal safe, and the people who created the crystals, the elemental crystals?
Get
Yes,
to
sir.
the point, Jakku.
If you'd let me tell my story. Now, interrupt me again, and then I would be forced not to. Now, anyways, those gods are the main inspiration for this one, and it's about a certain individual. Haven't decided the name of him yet, but it's about an individual who has to face off against these gigantic titanic sort of beings. They still involve the same, you know, people that we all know. Ifrit's in there, Ramu, Shiva, Bahamut, Odin, all of them. Everyone's in there. And it's about a man, after, you know, his brother went through a little bit of a hard time as a child. He goes on to try to end the war of the Shokan, or as I'm calling them, the Icons. And that's pretty much the sum of everything, the synopsis. Just a man and, you know, his distraught brother trying to stop the world from going to shit by a Titan battle. Because if these Titans were to go against each other...
brother?
Huh?
Younger or older brother?
What the... Okay, out of character. Younger or older brother for what?
So,
Like the main
Jakku
character?
said that, yeah, for the main character.
Oh, yeah, he's the
was
old...
The
Yeah,
main character's brother.
okay, yeah. He's the older brother, and the main character's brother is the younger one, and he's very distraught.
Nyx just kind of mutters, "Oh, that checks that off the list."
And yeah, I haven't really fleshed out the big events that's going to be taking place, but there's an empire, and you know the usual. The empire tries to take over everything, while there is another republic that the main character lives in. They try to stop everything, stop the empire from invading along the way, and then you just have overhead these giant titans battling that's literally destroying the earth. It's quite
Wow.
it's quite an insane one. I tried to improve the scale on this one.
He didn't do a very good job.
Either way, I don't need your approval, smart ass.
Dumbass.
Dog.
Alright.
Big tsundere moment.
Oh my god.
Nyx kind of lets out a sort of, for lack of better words, a sort of disappointed sigh, grabs the 5th and 15th book and is like, I think we're done here.
Good.
So
I have to
I
get.
can deck now?
Let's not. Please?
When you say that, Nyx, when you say you were done here, he says, "Good, I think I am too." And then he snaps his fingers, and you can see the manuscript appears back on the table, and he goes back to writing. Now, off with you all, please. If you need any more questions, feel free to come back.
Kind of and just walks out and mutters, egotistical asshole.
We appreciate your time.
Thanks, Jaku, so much.
Thank you, Vesta and Franklin, for being such good people and unlike your other friends here.
Okay.
All right, we're out of here.
If you wish, you can. If you wish, you are more than welcome to throw a punch at him.
Oh god.
That's if you
I'm
wish.
gonna do I'm doing worse. Okay. So I leave but just as I leave and shut the door behind me, make sure I'm the last one out, I cast thaumaturgy and I make it like really creepy ominous whispers coming from the corner of his room.
Oh,
And I leave.
And he just hears so you're just making it so that there's just whispers in the in his room.
He's
It is
yeah,
rude.
freaking Ruvik's making a haunting.
Okay.
I'm haunting him.
And then okay, so when you guys are walking out, all you guys hear is just a muffled "Ah!"
Oh god.
Ruvik, what'd you do?
Nothing. Nothing at all.
Nyx puts his hand up for a fist bump to Ruvik.
The two traumatized people are friends now.
As if that guy wasn't far enough off his rocker.
I'm just, give him a little push.
I know that was you. I will get you.
You wish.
All right, let's go.
All right, and where will the gang head to next?
Where should we head to next?
You guys are still.
Well,
No!
we need to. Oh, cat invasion.
Your cat is an
Cat
alien.
invasion. What time of day would it be at this point?
It's about midday-ish, probably like 3 or 4, maybe. No. Yeah. It is about 3 or 4. So I'll say about 3:50. I don't like to give exact times because people didn't really have that good clocks back in the day.
Yeah.
Well, back in alien medieval times. But yeah. So
Nyx just
you all
you
are.
can see Nyx is still a little. He's just definitely a little irritated with Jaku. Just kind of keeps glaring daggers at the house as they're walking away, and it's just like, I will never understand people like that.
Just dicks for being dicks.
The man would rather be in fear of spoiling the public of his new story than to help us save the world.
And he did threaten to blow up the entire town.
That was after you threatened him with a gun. And
But
attempted.
he threatened to not.
Okay,
But instead
in
of
my
threatening us, which I understand, he threatened to kill everyone in the town.
I will.
That
and
was
in my
okay.
defense, he tried to do some sort of magic on me. So if anything, the gun was self-defense.
I will say though that if you remember, like last time he used Ultima, you can tell that it would only stretch out for about 30 feet. And so, him being the source of it all, if anybody would blow up, it would be only you guys and maybe the area around him. But, like, it's only 30 feet. You can count 30 feet from just looking.
Yeah, would have basically just taken out his house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
So, that was
still,
all in his.
he said the words.
He said the
Yeah.
words. He tried to
He's
blow
an
me up, and
asshole.
he
Is
then
this-
tried to use magic on me beforehand. So, if anything, me using the gun was self-defense.
Didn't he
should've
try to
let
use
me
the magic after the gun was already pointed at him?
Okay. No, what I'm saying is that before he threatened the Ultima, when I was walking up to him and, like getting all up in him, he put his hand on me and tried some sort of magic bullshit. But it didn't work, and so I tried to shoot his hand in self-defense.
I mean, I just feel like there's always a better solution than the gun. That's all I'm saying.
But a gun's terrifying, especially out here where people aren't Magitech savvy.
I mean, if you
And
had
also-
like,
I mean, also, it wasn't like I was using one of my bombs either.
but if you had, if you had grievously wounded him, then it would have been in a much worse spot.
Oh, I was only trying to shoot for his hand.
And I
I
could
mean-
heal it, so it's fine.
There's no guarantee he would have wanted to talk to us after that.
We don't need him to talk. He knows nothing.
Fair enough.
It did seem like he wasn't planning on telling us any good information.
Yeah. The shit with the 16th book didn't seem too relevant.
No. Considering that the sibling of the protagonist is younger, I don't think it's relating to any of us, unless you guys have younger siblings that I don't know about.
I have no idea. I don't think so.
I think
Who
I'm an only
knows?
child.
Yeah, I am as well.
Right, and Orion's my twin, and I mean, all that aside, I was born first, but regardless, we're twins. That technically doesn't really count as older-younger situation.
Is he heavily traumatized, just like you?
I mean, I did kind of leave him to my father's spite when I left.
That's a yes.
Yeah.
You traumatize your own brother.
I've already apologized, and I have felt bad about it. No, all things considered, but I don't
He's very
think
easy to mess with.
I don't think that it would still relate to any of that, because I mean, like I said, when most people talk about a younger-older sibling relation, it's usually by more than just a few minutes.
Yeah, it does seem like a stretch to say your brother's younger.
Yeah.
Who knows? It might be someone else we come across in our travels.
Do we know if Evangeline? No, that wouldn't really quite work either, I think.
Biggs and Wedge.
I don't
Surely
even
not.
think they're related.
I don't...
Yeah, no, you can tell that they're not related because they're two different races. One of them is a short little stocky one, and one of them is a gigantic fuck off big green boy.
One of them could be adopted.
Yeah,
Fair.
they didn't say that they were blood related.
That sounds way worse
that-
than what it actually is.
Well, regardless, we've got the other two books, and at this point, I'm at a loss. I mean, I know I said that if these books are in relation to our history, we shouldn't read them, but I don't know. At this point, I'm honestly more curious, and there's something
Well-
going on. There's something going on about that guy that just something doesn't add up.
He
Yeah,
was
he's
certainly
breaking
leaving
the
out some
plot.
parts of the story.
Yeah.
We've got the other two books with us, and as far as he said, these are the only ones that have full protagonist heroes.
Oh,
We,
is there anything else we have to do?
I mean,
We still need to talk to whoever's in charge of Rabanasta to see if we can get any more leads on the crystal, but
yeah.
Okay, let's go do that then.
let's just
Still-
hope that Jakku isn't a gossiper.
Oh, he 100% is.
Then we're probably screwed, my friend.
Yeah, it's fine. I've got ways. I am a bard after all.
That is fair, and I've honestly been through worse at this point.
Bard and I've got cake. Okay, we're gonna ignore I said that and keep moving.
Just that awkward silence,
Probably for the
Well,
best.
which Nyx would definitely be the one in awkward silence.
So half the gang decided on what they wanted to do next.
Let's find whoever's in charge of Rabbit. This is
I know we have a name.
Yes.
Hold on, let me go through notes.
To just so I could, it's fine. I can just go ahead and say it, so you guys don't have to keep searching. You know that the city, it's led by King Vaan and his associates, who also run the town with him.
Right. Well,
And that's
Who's
VAAN, by the way. Sorry.
Oh,
VAA.
damn,
Two A's.
oh.
well. Otherwise I was thinking AUGH and
Oh, Vince Vaughn.
I don't know. English is weird,
It's a weird fucking language.
especially American English.
Oh yeah, that shit's fucked. But yeah,
Americans.
that hey, don't blame us. Blame the fucking people who invented American dialect.
Nope.
We just
Blaming
say,
you.
we just say it. All right. So, how do you guys want to go about looking for this person, for this guy?
I'm just going to see if I can find. I'm just gonna go directly to, or no, I'm gonna ask. Shit, I don't know. Someone else go. I got a brain fart.
I mean, do we want to like? We can try asking around, or because usually with kings, well, I guess it's not. He's not really king, but like, usually with like government officials, there's like a huge building.
Yeah, didn't somebody already tell us about where King Vaan was? Because they mentioned that he was not really a king.
Yeah,
I just can't remember where they said he was.
I kind of remember. This was like a week ago.
Yeah. Could we make a history check, DM?
Yes, you may. Yes, you.
I think
may.
I will also make one.
If anyone can, you can make a history check if you wish.
oh,
21?
Goddamn.
24.
Goddamn.
Hey, I'm proficient in history, fool.
All right. Well, I mean,
And for
anyone
some
else?
reason,
Want...
my sleight of hand is it. I'm proficient in history, but my sleight of hand bonus is somehow higher.
Probably
I'm
'cause
good.
you
I have a
probably
minus
'cause you
one.
have- I think it's also because you have the sleight of hand gloves.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Oh, I forgot about our magic items. Not gonna lie.
Did I get a magic item or did I just get Horseman?
Wait, horse. Yeah, you got a horse guy,
I think.
but don't you
Yeah,
guys?
no. Horseman is your magic item.
No,
Horseman
well, I mean,
is my magic item.
kind of. It's more of an. It's more of an. It's more of just a summon exclusive to you.
Horseman!
Yeah.
Yeah, so you got Horseman as your magic item.
And
Love it.
because you guys just entered, and because he entered in, like Odin entered the arsenal while everyone else was still, like, while all the other Shokans were off cooldown, I guess we'll call it. You guys are welcome to, you for this one time only, kind of like a Phoenix when you guys had him. You can use Odin and another Shokan in the same one day, but you only have one day to use this.
Oh shit.
Well, I mean, one time to use this.
Yeah. No,
But
and I
one
think we
time you
still
use
have
Horseman.
Phoenix.
Well, oh, no, it's more okay. No, it's more like, okay. So because with like any other Shokan, including Odin, they all, once you use them, they're gone for the whole day until they charge up again the next day. You can only use one Shokan per person. Well, not per person. Only one can be summoned for everyone, meaning that there's
Per
not.
day.
Yeah, I don't know how to say this, but like only one per.
One Shokan per day across the board.
Yeah, that's it.
Wait, does that mean that time I summoned him to make him say hello counted as the
No,
one
no,
per
no, no,
day?
no, 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 no.
No.
You just made. Yeah, no.
No, that's just show off.
Yeah, no. If anything, it's more like Odin came out just to say hi to the rest of the party. And because I mean, he's technically a god, so I mean, he can come out whenever he wants. But
Yeah.
but no. What I'm saying here is that Odin, now that you got him later, and the other ones, you can use Odin and another Shokan in the same day, which you usually can't do.
Okay.
So yeah, I know my rules are a little odd, but bear with me.
Oh no, it's not too bad.
All right.
I'm the guy that created the tie goes to defender rule.
Which honestly is actually a really good rule. I use that, hell. It works. But
I still use it.
all right. So
I mean, it never really made sense to me that tie goes to attacker when I listen to podcasts like Critical Role.
Yeah.
Where for Matt Mercer he does go and use tie goes to attacker.
if anything, it would be like, hey, if you guys both tie, that means you guys equally just like bing, and then that means you guys get stunned for that one turn. But no.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, that would be an interesting rule.
That would be, because it's kind of like when you hit a shield with a sword and at equal, like.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It's just like that. It's like that cartoon scene where you just see the two battlers just vibrating after.
Yeah, or like when Thor hit the hammer on the shield.
Oh yeah. Good
All right.
times.
So, the people who rolled the 21 and the 24, goddamn. All right.
Me.
So, it's okay. So you remember that before King Sid and just King Sid told you all that King Vaan ruled Ravenaster. Him and his other people, his associates, ruled Ravenaster from the giant keep. And you when you guys came to Ravenaster, you all remembered that there's this whole stone, I guess sandstone kind of city, like big buildings made out of sandstone, and it's not like that crumbly kind of sandstone. It's that fucking solid sandstone. You can tell that those buildings aren't going anywhere anytime soon. Really nice looking ones too. But the keep is made out of like a regular material that you would usually see, probably like Bermesia is made out of. I can't say Cornelia because that's more of like a marble-ish kind of color. But the keep there in Ravenaster is kind of similar to Bermesia or even Ishgard, whoever's been there. So,
Oh wow.
So yeah, that's all that you all remember.
I do know that, from what I can remember, Sid said something about the guy being in Keep, which I'm guessing is the giant fucking sandstone, whatever the hell it is. So we could just head in that direction and see what happens.
Sounds like a plan.
All right. Any objections? All right. All right. Yeah, you guys move into the direction of Rabenaster, in the direction of Rabenaster Keep, Castle, whatever it's called. And yeah, once you all traverse the cities, you go through the markets, through the different areas that you've already kind of been through, but now it's more of a straight shot from the actual gate to the castle. But yeah, you guys all arrive at the castle, and you see 4 guards out there, 2 on the left side and 2 on the right side. And when you walk up onto when you go up towards the castle, the keep, before like even touching the doors or anything, the guards walk up, not directly in front of you. They just walk up in front of the door and they just tap their spears on the floor. Ding ding. Who are you? And state your business.
Humans.
I can see that.
Frank's a half elf.
I can also see that.
We're here to speak. We're here to speak with King Vaan.
Your business?
We're the Warriors of Light.
But what is your business here? What exactly do you want to talk about?
Restoring light to the crystal, if he knows any shit about that.
Preventing the end of the world. I mean, but I would assume if someone said Warriors of Light, it would make sense as to what they're doing here. But
just making sure. No need to be that way. Shush. And then he
I've had a long day.
He says, "Wait here." And he points in a certain direction, and you can see one of the other guards head up into the keep. And he stays there in front of you all, just staring.
So,
how's it going?
How are you?
You been a guard long?
I'm not frozen, by the way. I was just making sure that you guys knew. I'm not frozen. He's just sitting there, just stone-faced.
Not much of a
Ruben's gonna poke him.
are you?
What you say?
Ruben's just gonna like slowly poke his shoulder.
All right, yeah. Yep. Yeah, I won't even make you roll. You poke his shoulder, and he just doesn't do anything.
I think he's dead, guys.
Okay, this is just boring.
Sir, are you alright?
And then when you guys say that, the other guard comes down. It's been about he stays there and like just staring at you guys for like about 5 minutes or so.
Long enough. Like damn.
And one of the guards comes back down from the keep, and you can see he whispers something into the guard that's staring at you guys' ear. And he's just like, ding, ding. He taps the spear on the ground, and he says, "All right, you are permitted entry, but we must allow someone to accompany you."
Yeah, I want the creepy quiet one, please.
I get the feeling we're gonna be friends already. Let's go. All right.
I just turned to Roof and I'm like, "Are you gonna make him laugh or something?"
I don't know yet. I'll decide what I'm going to do in a minute. I'll do something.
All right. And as he's like walking, he hears this and he turns around. And he says, "Because I like you all, if you guys can get me to laugh, I will give each of you 150 gil."
Oh.
Fuck.
And that's if that's if one of you all make me laugh. You have until
to try now.
You have until we leave the keep. Let's continue. And he turns back around and he walks.
Damn.
I don't like pressure.
But yeah, he walks you all up to the castle, to the keep and stuff. And yeah, it's pretty easy. Yeah. All right. Let me actually add in some music. This will give you some time to
Okay, this goes to the magic users. Do any of you guys have like either hideous laughter or command?
Why you want the cheat?
No, he didn't specify how.
That's fair. That's fair.
I do not.
But I have charm person. I could charm
Oh.
him into laughing.
You know what?
Is that
Yeah,
going
let's
too
go for
far?
it.
Oh my god.
Wait, what happened? Say again. Go ahead. Wait. What happened? Huh?
Nothing.
Wait. Say. Jesus Christ, I hate.
Don't worry about it.
Hush.
Anyways, as you guys are all discussing, like I guess whispering to each other or talking amongst yourselves, he doesn't pay attention to it. You guys find yourselves in, I guess, the throne room, even though there's not really a throne. There's just this round table with like 5 chairs. And you see
Are there okay, question.
Hmm?
Are there any knights at this round table?
There are some people with spears around, like not at the table, just like surrounding the entire room, making sure everything is safe. And
I'm sorry, is Carlo the only one that got that?
I got the joke.
I also got it.
I-
I just didn't laugh.
It's not that
Yeah.
hard.
Oh yeah, no, I got the joke. I'm smiling, but it ain't funny. You never heard that? Alright. But yeah, no. You guys arrive there, and yes, as I said before, there is this round table with 5 seats, and there are people with spears around this table. Well, more like back around the walls. And you see only one person at said table, and he gets up from his table, from this chair, and it's a sort of like dirty blonde looking male character. He seems to have armor on his hands and his legs, but not much for armor on his chest. Maybe a little vest here, but that's pretty much it. And he says, and he puts his blade down onto the table. It's this sort of like straight-edged, kind of single-edged blade, and he sets it on the table. Welcome, Warriors of Light. I humbly welcome you all to Ravenaster, and welcome to our keep.
How old is he again?
He looks, from what you can see, he looks to be about in his early to mid-20s.
Oh,
That's
shit, he's
fine.
young.
I
Oh,
even
this
have
is
a,
gonna-
I do have a picture of him.
Lou, are you gonna do what I think you're gonna do?
Oh God,
No.
Come on now.
I'm not. I can't put it in the actual Roll20, but I will put it in the chat.
Yeah.
I'm a bard. What do you expect?
Fucks.
Okay,
Oh my
but
God,
yeah.
he's a twink.
Oh shit.
Guys, I can get back the blonde twink.
Fucking.
Oh, God, he's-
It's Razor 2.0. Wait, is he a barbarian?
No, I would hope not.
Thank God.
Anyways, he says, I'm sorry, I didn't really get the time to prepare for guests, but
I'm so
That's
glad
fine.
Nix is this right now.
all right. Well, come sit. He invites you all to the 4 seats that are there.
Nix sits down.
Sam.
Ruvik puts himself in the like closest seat to him.
Left or right? Left or right?
Doesn't care, just whatever's closest.
All right. Yeah, you sit in the seat.
Nix is gonna take one of the middle seats.
So the one that's sitting directly across from him.
Yeah. Okay. Actually, no. Nix is gonna be like in the middle, but also on Ruvik's other side.
Think of the chairs as like in the shape of a star, like an actual like 5-pointed
okay.
star.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. So you have
Okay.
Vaan here, and then you have like the 4 seats there.
Okay. So I'm gonna sit on Ruvik's other side.
All right. So Vaan. Okay, gotcha. Franklin, Vesta.
I suppose I'll. Yeah, I shall sit by Nix.
And then I'll just take the remaining seat.
All right. Yep. And he says, I say again, welcome to Ravenaster. As you probably have guessed, I am Lord Vaan. I run most of the busy work here in Ravenaster, along with my associates.
Nyx clears her throat a little bit and goes, Lord Vaughn, we appreciate your hospitality. I am Nyx Drake, warrior of the Wind Crystal and an associate of some of the northern companies of Shinra.
And he says, "Oh, you know what? That's a good idea. Let's go down the line. Welcome, Nyx. And I humbly invite you here to Ravenaster." And he kind of like points to the next person. Go ahead and introduce yourself. And then I think that would be Franklin. That's sitting next to Nyx, correct?
I mean, it would be either Frank or Ruvik, yeah.
Yeah, Ruvik's on.
Just
Ruvik's
keep
directing
going
next
because
to
I
him.
need to figure out what crystal I am.
Okay.
All right, so he's going in this way, I guess. So Nyx would be here, and that means that since Franklin said he's sitting next to Nyx, that means Franklin will be next.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm Franklin Vialis. You might be familiar with my family, far west, and warrior of the Water Crystal. The lovely keep you have here.
I'm sorry.
Oh no.
No, I just I saw that I was trying to go on the character sheet section to look for some information that I put there, but then I see that freaking Lou put here emote saying MINE. That caught me off guard.
You don't understand how hard it was for me to do that because my N button on my keyboard doesn't work.
Oh my gosh. All right. Okay. I'm sorry. Could you say that last part one more time, Franklin?
Franklin Vialis, warrior of the Water Crystal. Might know my family from the west. Lovely keep you have here.
Thank you. And yes, I believe I know a little bit about your family, considering, you know, them and their reputation. Not a bad one per se, but just, you know, a noble can recognize other nobles. And, oh, I'm sorry, go ahead. Frank?
I just said, like, yeah, I just, like, agreed with him.
Alright, and points to you, Vesta, and you.
I'm Vesta Murray. I'm the warrior of the Earth Crystal, and it's a pleasure to meet you.
Murray, have I heard that name before? It sounds familiar.
I don't imagine you would. We're not a very prestigious family.
No, but I don't know. It's right there. I feel like I've heard it somewhere. That or something close to it. I'm not too sure. But it's lovely to have you here. And he turns to the left. He turns to the left of him and he looks, and he's like, and you?
My name is Ruvik Cortez. I am a bard. I'm not as noble as the rest of these, but I am the warrior of the Fire Crystal.
The Fire Crystal.
It's a pleasure to meet you.
Likewise. Welcome, Warriors of Light. Again, my apologies for not being ready, but let us talk business about what exactly have you come to Ravenaster for? Exactly.
Well, Lord Von, being the Warriors of Light, I believe it's safe to assume that, for you to assume that Elian is starting to fall to darkness, and it is our duty as the Warriors of Light to make sure that the four crystals get their light restored as soon as possible.
Yes. It has come to my attention that everything had been going to shit, one would say. Considering our crystal had, lost its light along not too long ago, and also somehow disappeared. But we tried reaching out to our companions over in Cornelia, but for help, but we didn't get any, sort of response back. So we figured that they might have been angry with us. I'm not too sure.
I do understand that there's some tension with Rabanasta and the other four capitals.
Tension?
I was under the impression that the governments of Rabanasta stayed secluded from the other countries after the attack from Bahamut.
No, we usually don't do things like that. We've been in the alliance with Cornelia for such a long time, and what would Cornelia, after everything with Bahamut, why would we want to halt all of our communications? That we had just assumed that because, we did send soldiers to Cornelia, but none of them have ever returned. Maybe it's because of the desert and our lack of airships. But
it could be possible. And the situation with the airships, I would be more than willing to discuss with you further. As I said before, I am a ambassador to some of the companies over in Shinra and its capital city of Midgar. But as I said, we'll discuss that at another time. Considering the situation at hand, all the other cities, Ishgard, Cornelia, Midgar, they've all assumed that after the attack of Bahamut, you secluded yourself from contact in possibility of resentment or something of that category, and believing that, honestly, I'm not entirely certain myself, but that's reasons why all the others believe that Rabanasta and the royal family of Rabanasta have tensions between the other royal houses.
Well, let me... Jesus Christ. Well, let me go ahead and put those assumptions to bed right here. We never really had any resentment to anyone. I mean, sure, we and Ishgard have had our differences in the past, but that was before I became leader of the city. But after Bahamut, we never wanted to drop communication. We just happened to not receive anything back from Cornelia. We tried reaching out, but they never responded.
Huh. It is most bizarre, because it's almost the same situation for us as representatives of, well, the other three capitals.
Well, either way, if you ought to ever return to Cornelia.
Oh?
Who?
Carlo just dropped in and out?
Sorry, I'm having Wi-Fi issues.
Oh no, you're good.
Okay.
What was the last thing you heard?
Vaughn's putting the rumors to bed about, after the Muhammad attack.
Okay, yeah, he pretty much just saying, yeah, we didn't receive any communications. But I will say that we tried to hold our own against, things that happened. I'm sure you've probably heard, literally, not too long ago, the half of our city just spontaneously combusted, which we still don't know the cause of, but we're trying to get to the bottom of it.
It does seem most bizarre, in to the fact that the only other city that has come up with a situation similar in description, for at least, would happen to be the city of Bermesia, and as you may know, it was one of the few cities that were more heavily devastated during the attack of Bahamut. And much like Rabanastre, half of its city was up in flames, and the other half was in more better condition than the prior one, for sure.
Yes. Well, we've drawn those parallels as well. But seems like things have been calming down over on that part. We've dispatched thaumaturges and black mages of all different types to dispatch with the fire. But there was this weird crater we found. It's been all just. Has anyone ever felt that the last few days or weeks maybe even have just been just bizarre? Has just been making no sense?
I cannot tell you how true those words are.
Lord Vaan, if you heard the entirety of our adventures through Dune and Midgar Midgar, you would know that bizarre has basically been the most overall description of our adventures.
Well, hopefully we can all come together and tone down some of this thing that just keeps plaguing us. But
Agreed.
what else is it that you all wanted to talk about? Surely it can't be just about coming here for Cornelia and all that.
Well, as the Warriors of Light, it is our duty to make sure that all of the 4 crystals of Elian are secured and restored. In this case, the last known information we have of the Earth Crystal was that it was here in Rabanastre, and we have heard some rumors of its disappearance, albeit not too different from when we went to try and find the fire crystal in Dune. But we would appreciate any information that you may have that may have been kept from the overall masses of the public and whatnot, or something that may have come up that might seem almost inconsequential to the common folk in a situation like that.
Alright, let me quickly scroll through. I had written
Take your
this down.
time. Take your time. I'm basically going full diplomat right now.
Alright. Alright, really quickly, would you mind repeating that last bit really quickly so I can...
Any information that may have been kept from the public masses, either to not create more concern, or things that may have been deemed inconsiderate for, or insignificant for the public to truly remember.
Yeah. And he says he gets up from his desk and he kind of goes over to the window where the sun is shining. You can see you can can tell that the daylight is starting to come to a close, and the sky is cascaded with this bright yellowish, orangish kind of light. And he's like, "Yes, well, they're about, I'd say, how long has it been now? A few months since everything went to nothing, I guess.
It's been about 3 or 4 months.
Well, along those lines, when the crystals started to, lose their light and lose their form, we used to have 6 members on the council, like on the committee. But once everything had gone down and the Earth crystal lost everything, and apparently the entire world, one of our associates, one of my most trusted allies, he had stolen the Earth crystal from us, and we know not where he went. We've dispatched soldiers everywhere. We've dispatched everyone in the nearby cities to look for him, but we still can't find anything. And it hurts because this was one of our most trusted people on our board, and why would he go to do something like this?
Does the name the Dragon Queen mean anything to you?
Not really. I don't, it doesn't ring a bell for me.
The councilman, was it possible that someone may have heard the councilman utter the name of the Dragon Queen before the abduction of the crystal?
It was all a long time ago. He probably did, probably didn't. All we were worried about was he had the Earth crystal in hand, and smiled that wicked smile, and he left.
What was the name of the councilman that stole the crystal?
His name is Kuja. I'll go ahead and type it in.
Okay. Yeah.
There were, as I've said before, there were 6 members. There's me, Ash, there's Fran, there's, for the love of me, my memory's starting to leave me. Me, Ash, Fran, Kuja, Gabranth, and Bosch. But everyone else, they either and then you have the people who rule the military all over Ravenastor. They keep track of all of everything that goes on there, and I guess you can count him as a council member as well. But it's that damn Kuja. For what reason he took the crystal, I don't know.
Do you know if he has places outside of the city that he might frequent? A distant city, somewhere where a family member might be?
No, he spent most of his time in Ravenastor. I mean, hell, he was, from what he told us, he was born here. And, he joined us. Well, he joined back when we weren't even thinking about becoming rulers. He joined us, and we were all friends and such, but he never really told us about what he did in the city, or even if he left the city, so I wouldn't even know.
Did you have any friends within Ravenastor aside from yourself, maybe one of the other council members, a guard, a servant.
No, we were all a tight-knit group. You can feel free to ask. I mean, when they get back from their lunch break.
Of course.
When they get back from their lunch break, you can feel free to ask the other council members, but we know not what he was aiming for. And so it's been a few months, and we still haven't seen any sign of the Earth Crystal. But, I mean, you all seem to have, you all seem used to this sort of thing, apparently.
I mean, for the most part, our experience is that usually whatever's behind something like this usually sends a servant to try and tease us and whatnot, for lack of better words. In the city of Dune, we knew that the person behind the world slowly falling to darkness, as I've said, to which we believe is an entity known as the Dragon Queen, sent out a servant by the name of Garland after us. When we restored the Crystal of Wind in the Crystal Tower in Shinra, the Dragon Queen sent an entity known as the Cloud of Darkness, who tried to take over the tower itself. I hate to bring such a possibility even to your ears, Lord Vaan, but at this point, it may be safe to assume that the councilman has fallen to the graces of the Dragon Queen, or at least one of her subservients.
I wouldn't know why. Even if he knew such a being as the Dragon Queen, why would he, relinquish his bond with his closely knit friends? Why would he sever such a bond that we had for an external reward like that?
We've seen that darkness can do strange things to one. Whether it's experimentation without thought of what might happen to subjects, or direct influence of the mind and manipulation. To what extent Kuja might have gone through, I cannot say for certain. But I do offer my apologies for the loss of not only the crystal, but of your friend.
Thank you. Well, if you all need anything, any information, any sort of, I guess, equipment or whatever you all need in Rabanester, feel free to tell anyone in the city, I guess any shopkeeper that that Lord Vaan sent you, and they'll give you a good discount on anything you might need.
Of course. Before we talk to the other councilmen, I do want to bring up another prospect of a less world-ending nature. Like I said, I am not only a warrior light, but I am also an ambassador to sources within the nation of Shinra and the city of Midgar. To be more specific, I am a dedicated ambassador to the Pendrick Company, the Pendrick Magitech Company.
Yes. I
Now-
have heard of you.
Yes, our reputation among the public is not entirely the best, but at the moment, and I'm not entirely sure if you've heard the news or not, but the man who was in control of the company, Alistair Pendrick, has relinquished his title and his wealth and name to the company itself. And as of now, the company and all of its holdings are now in the possession of his daughter, Artemis Pendrick.
Well, I mean, since communications have been cut, that's certainly new developments. All I knew is that Alistair Pendrick is the head of everything over in the north, and he refused to share to share it with people. And I did know that he had a daughter, and a son, but that's all I knew.
Yes, and for the most part you are correct, but there had been some, for lack of better words, hostile negotiations between Mr. Pendrick and his children, to the point where there was a bit of a takeover of his holdings and his title as head of the company.
So what exactly are you...
As of now, the Pendrick Magitech Company is turning a new leaf, or a new stone, for lack of better words. For the last couple of weeks, we've been helping with the restoration of the city of Bermesia and all other cities that have been devastated in the attack of Bahamut. However, there is a bigger vision that the company holds. And before I continue with this, I'm honestly curious about your opinion on the Magitech and its properties and the business of it to begin with.
Honestly, we're all kind of worried, considering that Ravenester is the origin and home of black mages. It does kind of put a wrench in our, craft. So people here don't. There are a lot of people who don't mind it, but then there are a lot of people who do not.
And what is your personal stand on it, Lord Vaan?
I am not the one to really make to have my own opinion, because I don't wield magic. I honestly can't wield magic. But I can wield a sword. He picks it up and he puts it back down. So I'm not really the one to ask. But I would recommend asking anyone else on the council member, any one of the other council members. Maybe they can give you some more, opinions on that.
Of course, and I'd be more than willing to share this proposition with the entire council, observing this, but I wanted to bring it up to you personally first off, as in all retrospect, you are technically a representative of Ravenasta and its, well, for lack of better words, royal family.
I guess that's fair. Well, I guess my opinion, I don't have an opinion. So you have my permission to ask any of the others. Right. And their opinion is just as good as mine.
What I'm offering, I will admit, may put some of the more magical practitioners of the council in a bit of a possible unease, as I have heard every aspect of of this idea, but what the Pendrick Magitech Company is trying to, not immediately, but throughout the course of its renewal, is the creation of Magitech institutes, where ones such as yourself and such as myself, who are not practitioners of black magic, white magic, or any of the others, or even born to it, to at least give them some form of an understanding and an additional support in defense, and even possible everyday life.
Sure, that sounds pretty interesting. Well,
As I said, this is at the moment merely a proposition, but the new heads of the company would like to see this become more of a reality. As I'm sure you know, Magitech is something that has been a safeguarded secret in Shinra, something that is considered to be knowledge that may as well seem a lost cause for any of the other nations, such as Rabanasa here, which is the city of black magic. All I am proposing is simply simple institutions to help, for starters, to help the common populace of Elian in gaining a bit more of beneficial knowledge that might make everyday life a little easier.
I'll have to discuss that with with the others. But for now, I believe we have other, I guess, a little more important matters, like the destruction of the world, so we can discuss this after, such things have passed.
Of course. I
But-
just merely wanted to put the proposition on the table, so to speak.
And I thank you. That does sound pretty revolutionary, at least in terms of people who can't really do magic. But we'll have to hold off right now.
Of course.
Right then. Anything else?
Somebody else asked a question before I keep going.
I mean, I think that's all we came here to talk about, right? It's just the Earth Crystal.
Believe so.
Yes.
Ruvik, how long have you been staring at Vaan?
He's so enamored that he just he in it. Wait, is he trying to speak or?
I don't know.
I'm not hearing him.
Hey Lou.
Yes.
Hey, there you are.
Welcome.
Mm.
All right. So, he says, right then. As I said before, feel free to, if you decide to do any shopping or whatever have you in Ravenaster, just tell them that Lord Vaan sent you, and you can get a little discount on on some equipment if you need it.
Much appreciated.
Yes. All right. If there's anything else, then I must get back to my work back there.
Of course. We bid you good day, Lord Vaan.
And thank you.
Nyx gets out of his chair and just waits for everyone to get up and then eventually head out.
And and he says, "Oh, one more thing. If you all
Yes.
see Kuja again, tell him that whatever it is that made you want to go and do this, that we hope that it was worth it."
Of course.
All right then. And he walks off to the other side of the table where you are, and like he goes back in the direction that he was sitting in. And the guard that guided you all here says, "All right, you may all come with me. We must exit the keep."
Very well.
All right.
Now's our chance to make this guy laugh.
Oh,
All right.
yeah.
And he guides you all. Is there anything? I'll give you guys this one chance to get him.
Anyone have any jokes on hand?
And they can't be jokes that you've all like learned outside. No metagaming here. We gotta like make it in universe.
No. I mean, I still say that someone should use some sort of magic to make them laugh, whether it's hideous laughter, charm person, command.
That's fair.
Ruvik's got charm
No,
person.
wait, this one.
Oh?
Cure
Oh,
wounds.
God.
Oh.
No, ignore that.
All right. So okay. So guard is gonna roll a wisdom save.
Please fail. Hey, it's extra money for us, man.
Oh my
Oh,
god!
yeah.
Oh my god. Alright, now's your chance. You gotta have a pun, Rubik.
It can be cheesy now. He'll laugh at anything because he's charmed.
Yep.
Oh no.
You guys are more than welcome to pitch in because he's charmed. Anything will work.
Yeah, you guys go. I did the magic. You guys can make jokes.
I'd say one of the other two should go. I just did a bunch of diplomacy.
You fucking...
Okay.
All right, Vesta. All right.
It has to be in the Final Fantasy universe, right?
Yeah. No
Um,
metagaming. No saying like wubba lubba dub dub or anything like that.
Oh man.
Why don't
Oh my
ants get sick?
Wait, say again. Go ahead.
Why don't ants get sick?
I don't. And the guard says, I don't know why.
Because they have little antibodies.
That's exactly how he sounds.
Okay.
And yeah, he just kind of like ruffle on the floor laughing. And he's just like and then the guards are just looking at him like, what in the hell are you doing? You know you can get fired for things like that. I can't. Antibodies. Alright, a deal's a deal. And he
Holy fucking shit.
you all
Would not have been able to do that without the charm, that's for sure.
You alright, so you all get 150 gil in your pockets each.
Oh my fucking
Hell yeah.
Alright.
You're welcome.
That charm person
Oh,
was clutch.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Thank God.
Alright,
That was awesome.
so you guys got some money in your pockets, and more money at least, and you guys are out of the keep, and that is where we will end our session.
Nice.
End it off on a fucking guard laughing his ass off.
Do we get a level up?
You do not get a level up.
Ah, fuck.
we haven't fought anything in a long ass time, which means I gotta develop some things of it.
fought Jakku.
That's barely fighting. You guys barely even talk to the guy.
I tried to shoot his hand
That's
And
fair.
you missed.
in
And I
self-defense.
wanted
That does not provoke a level up or anything like that. All right, not yet.
I almost defeated him.
You, God damn it. All right. Well, anyways, good. It was.
You could also say that diplomacy is the fight of voice and mind.
True.
Yeah, I lost that. I fell asleep.
I was wondering why you missed your chance to hit on Vaan.
Yeah, no, I was asleep.
Let's just say he hasn't lost his chance yet, because he can. Like, you guys can still go into the keep, and you pretty much earned his trust as far as you know. So, either way, we are gonna end our session off to here. Thank you all for coming down. Get the joke to Streamers and Creamersville. Welcome, not welcome. Leave. Bye. Goodbye, everybody. See you later.